Okay, hi. So today I wanted to do something really probably more for the Tai Chi for health people, but I wanted to do some Tai Chi sword and maybe some Tai Chi fan. But what I wanted to talk about is that I know a lot of people want to learn how to want to learn the sword set, Tai Chi sword set or fan set, and they're afraid of doing it, or you're waiting for somebody to teach you a set. Okay, I know a few sets. I don't know any real Tai Chi sets, but I'll show you an easy way to do one. You already know a set, or you already know a way to start learning one. So I want you to do it by using your existing palm set, your hand set. So I love Yang style. It's first Tai Chi I learned. I also have the Sun style, the Sun style, but I'll use the Yang style as an example. So to demonstrate it really quickly, if I'm doing the traditional Yang form that was passed down from Yang Chen Fu, right, as I learned it. So with the opening, picking up both palms and coming down, right, the commencement, and shifting and turning, and stepping out and going through the grasp the bird sequence. And coming all the way around to single whip. And maybe just to here. So starting off, maybe you start off holding a fan, or just holding a stick and doing the same things. And just hold the object, whatever you're doing, and just do the hand form. Okay? You're going to have to make a small adjustment because you're holding something, but focus on doing the hand form. Right? So coming up, same movement. Okay, grasping the bird sequence. Just holding it. So right here, of course, I can't do this exact same palm sequence with the right hand. Small little modification. Okay? And so on. You could do it with the fan open, and then you could start opening and closing the fan while you work. So if you wanted to start off opening it again, you have a slight modification. Just doing the set, your set as you know it, whether it's 24 or Chen or the Sun style. Right? Not even paying attention to what you're holding. Same thing with the sword. So whatever sword you want. Right? If you have more than one, maybe you start off with a shorter one, lighter one. You just get used to it. Okay. So one of the common things you'll see is to hold sword finger, right? One finger or two fingers, however you want. And they'll start off in one hand, and they'll come across and at some point transfer the sword to the other hand. So commencement, right, and shifting, just focusing on the palm set. All right, so right here, if I wanted to, I could transfer the sword. That's one way to do it. Not even worrying about the blade. Holding longer object, movements are going to start to come out. So what if we did the same thing, but now you focus on sword technique? So to focus on the sword technique, but just using the form, right? You should learn drills. If you learn drills, cutting drills, how to turn the sword, playing with the sword, how to pass it from hand to hand. If you can find sword drills, and you get used to just handling the sword, so it's comfortable, right? Then you're using the form, you have a sword set. Okay? So concentrating more on turning it into a sword set instead of just holding an object. Okay, using sword finger for the opening. Right, so now turning the movements to emphasize the blade, right, the feature of the weapon, right, how you would use to cut or block. Right, I can strike with the end. Hupipa. Brushing the knee. And come back. Right. So, hupipa. Brushing the knee. And twist step. Right. Dropping, blocking, coming up, twist step, blocking, cutting, right? A stab, and another stab, an opening, right? Coming back, bringing the sword back. Simple, yeah. It's not something I ever learned or did before. It just in the middle of working with somebody, working with one of my students, and we're doing sword, and I thought, yeah, what if we just did that? Just hold the sword and just play your set. So you have Taiji sword. Yeah. The sword is longer, heavier, so it's going to feel different. Your move might feel different. Okay, your adjustments might feel a little different. Okay, brush knee, step up, people. Okay. Brushing knee, you can alter. A strike here, maybe a strike here. Maybe a downward cut. Could be a stab, down, or straight. Right? People. So thinking of the sword, I can modify and change the movements a little bit, right, for it. Okay. So just simple way. The fan is always fun to play with, right? Opening and closing the fan. I could start here, but I'll just start in my right hand. And looking for opportunities to open and close the fan. Okay, and so on. So yeah, grab something. You can start off with a chopstick. You can start off with a short stick, a PVC stick, anything. Just learn to hold something in your hand comfortably. Get used to holding it and manipulating it. You can read up about how to hold things, right? Not choking, not tight. There's a loose, playful grip, light but firm. That's always the riddle, right? You don't want it knocked out of your hand, but you don't want it stuck inside. It's another joint. It's an extension. It's a joint. And while you're doing it, practice all your Tai Chi principles, right? Suspended from above, practice song, sinking, practice your breathing. As you get used to holding that object, really start to get back into the principles. And if you don't have a formal Tai Chi set, a lot of people want to learn the competition forms. You have a set. You just have to hold and modify it. Okay? So just some drills to make you comfortable in practice. Just learning, just passing it from hand to hand. And you ask anybody if they're somebody who likes tools, they get a new tool, could be a hammer, and they just start holding it and weighting it. If you're a fisherman and you get a new rod and reel, oh, you want to play with it. You want to learn the feel of it, the comfort of it. You ask people who like guns, right? I don't know. They get a brand new gun, unloaded, make sure it's unchambered, and they just play with it. They want to learn the feel, the weight, the comfort, if it's swords, whatever it is. If you're cooking, you have a new knife in the kitchen, right? You take your time until it's second nature, okay? So you can pass it, practice cutting. So coming down and slicing straight down. Just practice slicing straight down, get used to it, let it drop. And you can do two hands. Right? Just get used to it. Practice just fishtail, practice circling. small circles one way, small circles the other way. Turn the blade up and down, clockwise, counterclockwise. Practice your cuts, diagonal cuts, up, 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 up. If you know somebody who's plays with the Tai Chi swords, ask them for help. Right? So cuts. Simple drill I learned is coming out, turning, and cutting. Just learning how to swing the sword, manipulate the sword, and cut up, up, up. Okay. So try and find somebody to teach you drills, or watch videos, or however you want to do it. But get comfortable to playing with the sword. So you don't. Otherwise, you just have the set. You don't have the set. You don't know what to do with the sword. But look at what the weapon is for. It's for slicing. So the edge. And I don't remember the exact proportions, but if you study the Taiji Gim, the sword is only sharp up here, right? And down here is dull. So you can grab and you can press without cutting. Although we tell people don't grab the sword like that. And left hand, right hand, but just get comfortable. Okay? So you can free form it. You pick any form. One sao, right? Waving hands like clouds. So coming out, and it'll show you, right, different applications, like coming from here, right, single whip, but you're holding the blade, so you can't bring your fingers together. But if you're focusing on the sword, it's cutting and blocking. Right? Here, right? Doesn't have to be like this. You figure it out. And turn the palm up, and coming up and sweeping the hand up. The sand would still come out from here. Right? Holding the swords, right? Cutting, sweeping, right? Turning, cutting down or pressing down. Right? Depends on your intent, lifting, blocking, turning, striking with the end, pressing, right? Turning, the whole waist can turn, slicing down. So you can just you kind of feel your way through it. And so one sao, right? Your hands are pumping, moving up and down while you're turning. But if you're holding something, maybe hold the fan, it'd be simpler to see it at first, right? And decide how you want to play. Right? It doesn't have to. It's not the exact same application as doing open palm. But you can see from here, it might be turning into a cut, right? But still pressing, or just blocking, or hooking. Maybe hooking with here, bringing down, right? Maybe turn to block, lift, and come down. And watch how people do it. Like I said, talk to people who have sword moves and play with the sword. Yeah? What the techniques are. You can watch videos what the techniques are, right? Lifting straight up or pressing straight down the blade. Pressing straight down. You see this move a lot in there. Right? Lifting and coming up. You can talk to people. You can play two-man to find out what this is for. What are you doing, right, with these moves? Coming up, what are these moves for? Right? What are these moves for? How to stab, right? How to block, right? How to block, blocking, cutting, blocking, cutting, blocking, cutting. Just basic drills, right? Nothing fancy, but learning how to correctly have your form from there. Okay. All right. Hope it inspires you. to, to play. Okay, and as you learn so-called proper sets or regular sword sets, right? Go back and forth between just holding it and just doing your palm sets, and you're going to create your own set, right? So you don't realize it, you already have a sword set. You just don't have a sword, maybe. Okay, good luck.